echoes and it shakes the halls of power.
Oh, man, y'all ain't got no sense, man. Y'all ain't got no sense. Oh, y'all ain't got no damn sense. You're tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man fucks. What's happening, chocolate people? And everybody in between. What's crack-a-lacking on a Tuesday evening? Here to drop some of that sauce on you. The Iceman Show podcast. Decided to do a quick show for Tuesday evening. Decided to put something in your eardrums. Got a little snow situation going on the last couple of days up here in the Northwest. Been a little nastiness going on. But it warmed up a little bit today. It's supposed to be snowing again starting tomorrow. I'm like, damn, man. Although last year it snowed about 3 weeks. So we're going on about, it's probably about a week and a half if you total all the days. It's about probably about a week and a half we've been getting snow off and on. So I'm not surprised this time of the year. Next month it'll be getting a little bit warmer, hopefully. And sell 1961. What's happening, player? What's happening with your partner? Timid Diamonds, what's happening with your partner? See all the players in the house. Want to welcome everybody to the Iceman Show podcast, where we drop game, recognized game. See, we got the Iceman Show family in the house. And I am your faithful host, the Iceman, a.k.a. Sub-Zero, a.k.a. Denzel Snossington, a.k.a. Scotty Pimpin'. Want to remind you all that this is $5 Donation Tuesday. So do us a good favor. If you got the free Cash app, download the Cash app, free Cash app. Hit a brother off with a $5 donation. My Cash app my Cash app ID is $ the Iceman 1906. Or you can go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and put something on it. You digs? All donations are 100% tax deductible through the 501c3 charity. So go ahead and get that cracking. Want to welcome you all at this late date. I was going to start a little earlier, but a brother got to watching college basketball because, you know, it's almost, well, we got what, 2 more days and it's March Madness. So I ain't, you know, I haven't picked my favorites, but I'm going to tell you right now, hopefully my boys Texas Tech and Iowa State, hopefully I don't know how far they're going to get, but I'm quite sure they'll get pretty far in the Big 12 tournament. Also, I'm kind of looking at a couple other teams, but I don't want to say who's what. We do know that I could pretty much very much say that Villanova will not be hoisting that trophy up this year. I think it's going to be somebody else. I think, you know, Houston. I don't know. Houston look like they looking like the old Phi Slamma Jamma from back in the 80s with Clyde Drexler and all them. They look hot, but then again, they saying they schedule ain't been that that as challenging as some of the other divisions. So whatever. It's whatever. But one thing I do like about college basketball, everybody's got a shot, unlike football. If you ain't in the Pac-12, the Big 12, Big 10, the ACC, and the SEC, you pretty much don't have a chance. Which I just to a certain degree, I can understand both sides. Because if you ain't in the Power 5 conferences, I can't see nobody from the MAC beating like Alabama or LSU. So in football, so basketball is a lot more even as far as size, and it's not a contact sport to a certain degree. We'll see what happens. Anyway. Got a lot popping. There's so much to unload tonight, but we're going to try to do the best we can. Want to welcome the Iceman Show family on YouTube. I see y'all in the house. Exactly. Oh, you was in Montgomery back then? From Montgomery to Selma. Was you on the Robert Pettis Bridge? I spill blood in Selma. Your boy John Lewis, aka the nigga Ninja Turtle. Boy, that snow storm that was in Atlanta, boy, back in, what was that, 2020? What was that, 2013? Man, that was a bitch. Oh, man, I got stuck, man. I left the house about 11 a.m., didn't get home till 1 a.m. Oh, man, the streets was bad. Oh, the streets was bad. Oh, Atlanta shut down. He said he was choking cats out. Man, y'all wrong. Oh, man. Anyway, y'all, we got some pressing business to take care of tonight. Your boy, Terry Crews, me and Terry Crews got a little history, and I'm really not going to say what it is, but I done lost all respect for that dude, man. I can't. Look, man. You don't have to compromise your womanhood and or manhood for a paycheck. And if you do, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. And your boy Terry Crews is out here buck dancing, bojangling, just acting like a straight up little hoe. Looking like a little old hoe. Running around here talking about toxic masculinity. He is going overboard trying to establish himself as the non-threatening Negro. And he's putting himself in a situation where he's going to lose all credibility with, matter of fact, he done lost most credibility with black people already. I already knew he was a goofy nigga. I already knew he was a goofy ass nigga. But to the extent that he's giving speeches crying. He is taking a page out of the Van Jones crying nigga playbook. And you know, Van Jones, that's a crying nigga. That's a crying nigga, boy. Just, just old crying ass nigga. I ain't got no respect for a crying nigga. Now, if you done lost a loved one, a friend, somebody you care about, that's different. You done won a Super Bowl. You won a national championship. You done won a state championship in high school. That's different. You at your wedding. That's different. Your son or daughter just graduated from high school or college. That's different. You just won the lottery. That's different. But when you on TV crying like a fucking slave, you need your ass kicked. And Terry Crews is up here buck dancing and bojangling, just acting like a stupid ass plantation nigga. This nigga put up a tweet a few weeks ago with him in a pink suit, jumping up in the air, talking about the floor is toxic masculinity. Jump. Women they want us to get in touch with our feminine side or with our emotional side. But nigga, I know your old lady didn't tell you to do that. Your old lady didn't tell you to do that. Huh? This is but this nigga has the nerve to sit up here and say he gonna slap D.L. Hughley. And I got news for you. D.L. Hughley ain't gonna let you slap him. Okay? D.L. Hughley ain't gonna let you slap him. Now he talking shit about slapping D.L. Hughley, but he ain't do nothing. He didn't use that same energy to knock that Caucasian dude out that grabbed his man business. That's the guy that should have got knocked out. He up here talking about his wife done seen him throw people over his shoulder. Well, how come you didn't throw that dude over your shoulder? Terry Crews? Huh? Toxic masculinity, jump. Ain't nothing toxic about masculinity. Because that campaign is really an attack on black men, because black men are the only real masculine men. I'm talking about naturally masculine. I'm not talking about acting like one of these fucking Neanderthal Mexicans or one of these Neanderthal Caucasian dudes that want to be on that, hey, I drive a Harley. Where's my smokes, bitch? Where's my smokes? Where's my smokes, bitch? Where's my brew? I want a brew. One of these macho man type dudes. That ain't masculinity. You digs? This fool is out here buck dancing and acting like an idiot for his white handlers. And they ain't even asked him to do that. They ain't asked him to do that. He doing that on his own. Acting like a damn fool. Nobody asked him to do that. See, this is what happens. See, you have to understand something. You got so many. See, black people, you can be dedicated to being a moral and ethical person, being a upstanding person, being a person of conviction, and then you turn around to the right of you or to the left of you, and you got a coon sitting over here, or a Sambo, or a Negro bedwench, who is there to embarrass black people every way that they can, no matter what you do to try to, demand respect as a black woman or a black man. You got some Sambo or some coon or some mammy standing next to you who is undermining everything you stand for. And we have to hold these people in contempt, because you can say that these people are useful idiots, but you have to understand there's a lot of useful idiots out here. And Terry Crews is one of them. And I guess he feels he has to do that because he knows he's never going to be a Hollywood leading man. Can you see Terry Crews as a leading man in a television show or a movie? I'll wait. Terry Crews ain't never gonna headline a movie or a television show by himself off the strength of his acting or his popularity. For whatever reason. Probably most of it is because he's a mediocre actor. He is. He's a mediocre actor. He was funny in, you know, White Chicks. That was the only movie that I really, and this one movie he did with Christian Bale, Harsh Times. It wasn't a very popular movie, but it was a movie by the Navy homie David Ayer, the one that wrote Training Day. I got that movie on DVD. Very good movie, though. Got Eva Longoria's fine ass in it. I mean, I think if you dedicate yourself, I think you can be a master of anything. But I don't see him being that deep a actor. He ain't no Denzel. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no Idris Elba. You digs? But this Negro's out here buck dancing and making himself look ridiculous for no reason. Nobody asked him to do that. When you see these black men and women out here buck dancing and bojangling and acting like Sambos and coons, they are out there doing that on their own. They're out there doing that on their own. Every job that I've had, whenever there's been mammies, Sambos, and coons and Negro bedwenches, nobody tells them to do that. They do that on their own. Just like I act like I have some self-respect on my own. I've had blue collar jobs and I've had white collar jobs. And I can tell you this, you will never find anyone who will say that the Iceman was buck dancing for a paycheck. Good luck finding somebody. I didn't even do that in the Air Force. You digs? Because there's no reason to. I just think it ain't in me. It just ain't in me to be like that. I'm not a naturally scary person. I'm not. You have to do a whole lot to get me scared. It ain't a whole lot that scares me. Not even guns and knives. That don't scare me. Matter of fact, I'm more comfortable around weapons than I am anything else. But Terry Crews is out here acting like a broken buck. Back in slavery, some of the more brutal slave masters, what they would do is when the male slaves were delivered to at the auction, once they got them from the auction, they would go down to Jamestown, Virginia, when they come off the boat and they would get the slaves, they bring them back, in the back of a wagon. They go get them and bring them to the plantation. And what they would do is to emasculate them, they would stick things up their butts. Or if they had a homosexual master, they would anally penetrate them. Now you can imagine an African brother who's proud, intelligent, and he's put in a situation like that, some slaves had to be killed on sight because they was like, oh, hell no. You're not doing that to me. I'm not going to bow down to you or this system of white supremacy. I'm not going to do that. Some of these brothers resisted. So what they would do is they would buck break them. Sometimes buck breaking consisted of beating the shit out of them, breaking bones. And they still had to go out there and pick that cotton. They still had to tote that barge and bust up the shiffer row. Okay? Y'all brothers ain't got no sense. Timmy Down, you at Ansel 1961. Y'all niggas some fools, man. Anyway. So they would break these guys. Today, you have black men who have been broken already. And I'm wondering, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know that much about Terry Crews, but I'm wondering when was this Negro broken? Because, and follow me here. When does somebody bow down like that without nobody telling them to do it? I've always been of short stature. I'm under 5'9". Never been taller than that. Unless I was and nobody told me about it. I've always been short. Never been a problem. Never had an effect on my confidence. Never. Okay? I know guys shorter than me who have just as much confidence, if not more. Some of them I went to high school with. Never had a problem. I never seen them without a woman either. Just like I've always had women. Never had a problem. So whenever I meet women, they say, hey, you'd have had a chance if you were over 6 feet. I'll be like, hey, I ain't all things to all women. I don't get mad. I don't say, hey, bitch, fuck you. I don't do that. I don't say that. I don't have to act like that. I ain't all things to all women. Just like some of these women who say that shit to me ain't all things to all men. But I don't take it personally. I don't. Some women like tall men. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, you do you. Just like I don't date women who are too skinny. I've never been attracted to skinny women. I've never been attracted to fat women. I like thick women. But thick is as far as I'm willing to go. I was never attracted to Whitney Houston when she was living. Too skinny. Don't mean she wasn't a nice looking woman. But she Just ain't my cup of tea. But I never felt like I had to do extras or act extra to get women. I never felt like I had to do that. I stepped to women, I spit. Sometime it worked, sometime it didn't. Sometimes I had women that try to use me because maybe they thought because I was of shorter stature that I was lame, I was a lame, or I was weak, or that I was desperate, or that I didn't get that many women. And I've had to school a few women over the years. I like don't let the short stature fool you. I get hoes. I get these hoes. Okay? Bitch, ask around. I was a beast in the clubs back in the day, nigga. You could ask some of my family that used to go to the club with me. Me and my brother used to go to the club, spitting at hoes. Okay? He over 6 feet, and he didn't pull half the bitches I did. I used to go to the club and get chose because I had that ready for the world hair, Jerry curl that hung down here was, you know, I had the old Sheila curl. You digs? So the sisters love a brother with them curls. I had curls for the girls. You digs? And even when brothers started cutting their hair, I had the flat top with the curl on top back in the late 80s. Nigga. Oh, I used to go to the club and pull. And I used to bodybuild back then. Oh, I used to bodybuild back then, dude. I was in the gym every day. Okay? Throwing them things up. I used to go to Venice Beach with my shirt off and get play. Okay? So I ain't never had no problems getting no women. Never been a problem. Even in my mid-50s, I still ain't got no problem getting women. So I never felt like I had to do dumb stuff to get women's attention. I never been the guy that tried to impress women. I never went out and bought cars and trucks because I felt that this is the kind of vehicle that picks women that give me favor with women. I never was that type of dude. Never was. I got what I wanted to get. Some of the vehicles I bought, like SUVs that I bought back in the day, some of them were vehicles that got women's attention. But I didn't buy it because of that. And that was and getting women was a byproduct of me spitting. I know how to talk to women. And I'm not scared of women like a lot of dudes are. I ain't scared to get rejected. Hey, if I ain't your type, I ain't your type. I ain't the right skin color, that's fine. Okay. Well, I don't date black men. Okay, fine. Bye. Have a good day. But I've also told women, hey, I only date black women, especially if they're non-black and they ain't that attractive. Or maybe they might be attractive, but maybe it's something about them I don't like. I stick with the sisters. Okay. But Terry Crews is one of these black men that he's not he's got low self-esteem. And it's a trip because a lot of women would say, I've heard women say that he was fine. Now, I don't know if that was just based on his body and his face or just his body. But I have heard dimes talking about, oh, Terry Crews is fine. And I'm like, I don't judge men's looks, but that one I don't get. But then at the same time, I have seen or should I say I have heard women say, okay, this guy's fine because he got a banging body. I've heard women say stuff like that. So that might be what they mean. But that's why I be telling guys that, you know, I made that clear in this book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. This is my first book. I'm working on my second book, The Dating Bible. By the way, you can get this at Amazon.com or you can get this at AskTheIceman.com. Scroll down to the Add to Cart button. You can buy it directly from me and I'll sign it and send it to you. I talk about that in here in the dating section. And I talk about that most simps are ugly dudes or fat dudes. But some simps are good-looking guys who have low self-esteem and low self-worth. Some people are just like that. Some guys have no confidence. I can tell that Terry Crews has a self-esteem issue. Just based off the stuff that comes out of his mouth. And he's got a good looking wife. I ain't gonna front. He got a cute wife. But then at the same time, she had a kid when he married her. She had a daughter already. So to a certain degree, she might have been, you know, hitching her wagon, you know what I'm saying? And then he's been out here lying. They had him do a lecture on, I don't know where this was, I don't care. But they had him doing a lecture and he was talking about, he up there crying, just crying. Up there crying, and then talking about how he was so, you know, he was so buck, you know, he was so gangster. I'm like, this nigga? I don't think so, dog. I mean, as big as he is, I don't see gangster. It ain't in him. Gangster ain't in you, dog. He was trying to talk about how hard he is, how hard he used to be when he first met his wife. And his wife did an interview. I forgot where, I don't know. But I was listening to an interview with his wife, and she said that she almost passed on him because he was too nice. She said he was soft. Okay? She said he was soft. Does that sound like he was gangster with it? Fuck out of here. Man, Terry Crews is a goofy nigga. You look, man. I'm silly acting, but I'm not goofy. I'm not a goofy nigga. I have a sense of humor, and there's times where I do like to act silly, but I don't act goofy. except around maybe little kids. I do that. I act that way around little kids. Or around pets, if I have some pets. But that's as far as it goes. I don't act goofy around adults. This big overgrown nigga is acting like a goofy, just like a goofy simp. When your woman is putting information out there that is counter to what you saying, nigga, you need to shut the fuck up and sit your ass down somewhere. You have to understand, a lot of these entertainers don't realize that some folks fact check and cross check. They don't realize that. They don't realize that. That's why I don't believe in just, that's why I don't come on these live streams lying. Don't make no sense to lie, man. But he said he was talking like he was just in them streets, just like he was Debo or something. I'm like, dude, you ain't Debo. I wouldn't doubt if his daughter did that. But he's embarrassing, man. I can't stand Sambos, coons, and mammies and Negro bedwenches. I'm sorry. You're embarrassing. That's why if you ever notice when you're at work and there's another black person, have you ever noticed how as soon as, if there's a black person in the room and you come in the room and they're one of these buck dancing Sambos or one of these coons or mammies or Negro bedwenches, you ever notice how they get quiet when you come in the room? You ever notice that? You know why they get quiet? Because they don't know how you gonna come out of a bag. They don't know how you gonna be, because you might not be a coon like them. And then to a certain degree, a lot of coons, mammies, buck dancing Sambos, a lot of them, even if you're a Sambo like them, as far as they're concerned, that's one too many Sambos in the room. You understand what I'm see? Some niggas like to be that pet nigga. You understand me? And when you got two Negroes in the room, that means you got there's one pet nigga too many. So a lot of times, whenever you come in the room with another black person and they the only black person is a sea of Caucasian people, usually they'll get real quiet because they want to see what kind of bag you gonna come out of. And like I said, a lot of times I'm usually the only black guy in the whole goddamn department. Or I'm only one of the black people in the department, and the other black person is usually a Sambo or a mammy. And right off the bat, they are nasty toward me because they want to be the pet nigga. Some black people like to be the only black person so they can be special or feel special. And some white folks kind of do treat the only black person special, even if there's no tangibles attached to it. It's just that pat on the head. Oh, Tyrone, I guess you're not the only buck dancing Sambo. I mean, black guy here. And now this nigga sitting there. Why you go hire that nigga? Okay? Have you ever dealt with that? Because I have. In almost every job that had that kind of social dynamic. And it's pathetic. It's sad. It's fucking sad. That we see. Now I ain't gonna get into that because that really ain't the scope. That's not the scope. That's beyond the scope of this. That's beyond the scope of this lecture. But Terry Crews is running around here acting like a neutered, emasculated black dude. And nobody asked him. Nobody asked him to do that. I've had white people actually tell me or say to me, how come black people say, man, I ain't racist, but how come black people be putting on airs when they come around black people? I said, that's because they figure that's what you want us to do. They're like, man, nobody thinking about y'all. Now, I will say that I make white people uncomfortable. I make Caucasian people uncomfortable because I look them in the eye and I don't look scared and I don't smile a whole lot because I just ain't a smiling, goofy nigga. That just ain't my persona. And when I get Caucasian people that say to me, you make me feel a little uncomfortable. I'm like, and your point is what? I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. Fuck you. See, black folks, you need to make these people feel uncomfortable because I feel uncomfortable around them when they sit up here and I feel like maybe somebody might try to attack me. I'm thinking about my safety. I remember one time I was dating this one Caucasian chick that lived in Wisconsin. And at that time I was living in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. And so the state line from the Twin Cities is only like 50 miles. So she lived probably about 80 miles from me. So I drove over to Wisconsin to see her. And she wasn't living in the same duplex that she was living in when I was dealing with her the other time me and her was dating. And so she moved way in the damn woods. I mean, she was in the woods. I mean, it was deep in the woods. It was a beautiful house, though. It was beautiful. It was on the lake. It had a window that kind of was at an angle like this. So you can kind of lean on the window, but kind of be looking down on the floors below it. Oh man, it was cold-blooded, dog. Cold-blooded. And it was on a lake, and that moon hit that lake. Oh, nigga, it was gangster. Oh, it was gangster. But it was in the woods. And I was like, we went to this restaurant to go get something to eat. And I told her, I said, man, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable around here, man. We went in this bar. I swear to God, it looked like something off of Gunsmoke. I swear to God. Man, this motherfucker looked like it was up right out of Gunsmoke. Okay? I thought I was on Gunsmoke back in the 70s. I thought Marshall Dillon was about to walk in that motherfucker. Okay? Oh, man. Man, I swear to God, it had me tripping. Oh, we laughed about it when we got back to our house, but I was just like, I said, man, that boy looked like something off a gun smoke. She started laughing. She said, you a fool. I said, man, I didn't want to say nothing at that bar. I was like, oh man, it wasn't number honkies in there either. I mean, they were friendly. They wasn't nasty or nothing. I mean, you know, they wasn't nasty or nothing. But I was just like, you know how it is. Sometimes you just don't feel comfortable as the only black person. Not that anybody did anything, you know, untoward or anything, but it just, like I said, it just wasn't that, I just wasn't feeling it. Black men, let me say this to you. When you act like a coon and a Sambo, and you out here buck dancing and bojangling for pocket change, you do know your children are watching you. You do know your sons, if you got sons, you do know your sons are watching you. And when they see you buck dance and bojangle in front of Caucasian people like that, they're going to do the same thing you do. Here's how I know that to be true. I got one of my siblings. He acts just like my father acts. He kisses white people's asses. He's always grinning and cheesing all the time and buck dancing and bojangling. And them white folks still fires his ass off them jobs. Okay? They still fire his ass because he be up there buck dancing and bojangling and not doing any work. Ain't nobody gonna pay you to bojangle and buck dance for too long. After you outlive your usefulness, those Caucasian people will fire you or lay you off. So you have to see, this is how dangerous cooning and being a Sambo and being a mammy and a Negro bedwench is. That's how dangerous this stuff is not innocent. If you wonder why white supremacy has lasted as long as it has, it's because of people like Terry Crews. It's because of black people like Terry Crews. That's how white supremacy has lasted, because people like Terry Crews will sit up here and threaten D.L. Hughley, who ain't done nothing to him, but yet he let a Caucasian dude who's half his size grab his man business and he didn't do a damn thing in front of his woman. See, that's what really makes this egregious, is that fool let that son of a bitch grab his junk in front of his woman. Nigga, let me explain something to you. If nobody else, you handle your business and you act like a man in front of your girl and your children. Because if you don't, you will end up like my father, where your children have no respect for you. I have no respect for my father. Zero. Because I have no respect for these baby boomers who made it their life's mission to sell out those of us who were, you know, at the end of the spectrum, baby boomers and Gen X's and Gen Y's and millennials. all of us got sold out by these civil rights coons. Instead of focusing on building black businesses like the black folks in Rosewood and Harlem and Black Wall Street in Tulsa, where the Gap Band is from, when you do that, don't expect any respect from us. These guys focused on jobs instead of building businesses. They wanted to be up under the nutsack. They wanted to be all up under the nutsack of white zaddy instead of building their own shit. And as a result of that, we have all these wastelands in LA, Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, and the gentrifiers are moving in and buying up all that cheap property. And they're turning it into multi-million-dollar condos and luxury apartments that the average black, hardworking black person, even white-collar black person, can't even afford. Thanks to black people like my father's generation. They sold us out for chicken change. Now, black teenagers have the highest unemployment rate of comparable races, of other races of comparable ages. Even Mexicans' kids got more jobs than our kids got because of people like my father and some of you guys' fathers. All they cared about was getting a job down there at the plant. All they cared about was getting a job at the city or the county or the state. We're going to go up north and get them good jobs. And then the brothers who said, I'm going to go up north and get them good jobs, and I'm going to go ahead and work at GM, but in 10 years, I'm out. I'm going to go start me a business. And it's people like my father who would go and clown brothers like that. Ah, nigga, you ain't going to make no money. Because they were jealous. Same thing happened to me in my own family. I got relatives who try to clown me before I put this book out. I have family who try to clown me when I put music out under my own label. Oh man, you ain't gonna never go platinum. Yeah, but I ain't gonna be end up like your ass either. I ain't gonna end up working no job at 60 years old either. I ain't gonna be up under white mommy's titties or white daddy's ball sack trying to pay my bills either. Okay? That's why I got a couple homeboys that drive trucks. They say, okay, I'll buy me a truck. I'll buy me a truck. But as soon as I pay that motherfucker off, I'm going to become an owner operator where I can get double the money or triple the money. That's what real players do. Ownership is always the goal. Might take you a minute to get there, but ownership is always the goal, because the days of working 30 years on one job, they're over. Black people, those days are over with. You're never going to work. Ain't nobody in this on either one of these live streams are going to work 30 years and retire. None of y'all. And I'm willing to bet $1,000 on that. You want to put it, you want to put a wager up? Let's do them shits. I guarantee you will not retire in 30 years. I guarantee it. Because the job market ain't set up like that no more. You have to understand, the American economy is too volatile. And the reason why the American economy is so volatile is because you got so many foreign countries that own our debt, as well as these multinational corporations. They make more money overseas than they do operating here. How many of you know of a company that barely has a footprint in the United States, but yet you go over to some other country and they're all over the damn continent? Y'all remember Woolworths? Remember Woolworths used to have them lunch counters? Where my South Central cats at? Where my South Central people at that I went to school with? Y'all know where you remember used to be a Woolworths up there at Crenshaw Shopping Center? I used to go in that motherfucker stealing like a motherfucker. I used to go in that motherfucker stealing, God damn it. Man, they used to chase our asses out of there. Boy, we was wrong. We was wrong. Oh, nigga, we was wrong. It'd be about 8 or 9 of us, man. We used to go up under there where the trucks would deliver the stuff. We used to go under there and ride our bikes. Them trucks would be, we were some ghetto kids, nigga. And, man, I was living in Europe. I was living in Germany. Shit, Woolworths is over there. Man, my girl took me to Woolworths. Like, she said, have you ever heard of this place? I said, man, these motherfuckers used to be in the United States. Store looked almost the same as it did back in the 70s. Oh, it's real clean, but they over there. Just like Walmart's over there. I was tripping out when I was driving down the Autobahn. I saw Walmart. I'm like, God damn, they got Walmart over there too. And no fucking behind my ass going 90 miles an hour. Oh, they be driving fast. They be driving fast on that Autobahn. Where my Air Force cats at? Where my Army cats at? Y'all niggas know y'all used to be over there buying them. Hey, remember before they had the Euros? Niggas was buying them cigarettes on base. And then they go off base and sell it to them Germans. Shit. Buy that liquor. They go over there and sell it to them Germans. Ah, nigga. Where Timmy Diamond's at? Shit, nigga. I know about Europe. Shit, them were the days back then, nigga. But anyway, the American economy is too volatile. It ain't like it was when we was kids, man, where, companies didn't move out offshore like that. Some of them did, but most of them didn't. My mom used to work for Mattel. I've had people say, "Where was your mom working for?" Man, Mattel ain't never been over here. I'm like, nigga, you a fool. My mom worked for Mattel. before they moved over there to South Korea. That's why I'll be telling people, you might want to look at the tag on some of this stuff to see where this stuff is made. Because let me tell you something. Don't believe that lie that they tell you on CNBC that if you decide that you don't want to buy something that's not American made, that's going to shut down our economy. That's a lie. It's not going to shut down the economy. That's a bold-faced lie. So you have to understand something. A lot of these American corporations have skin in the game, and some of these Chinese corporations, these Korean corporations. Let me turn this heat off, man. I'm sweating over here. I'm sweating like a slave. Don't let them lie to you. I do a lot of research on these corporations. That's a lie. Don't let them lie to you and tell you that we have to buy something that's made in Taiwan. That's bullshit. They just try not to lose no money. That's why they don't like Trump putting these tariffs on China, because you have to understand, America moved, a lot of these American corporations moved these corporations with your tax dollars over there to China. And we helped them make them the #2 economy in the world. Now they're taking that money and trying to pimp the Africans. They're all over Nigeria getting that oil. So they sold us out. Some of y'all's grandparents and parents were affected by some of these corporations moving down to Mexico or moving somewhere else where they can pimp the people. Nike been pulling that shit since the 70s. With they racist asses. Nike ain't progressive just because they up here in Oregon. They ain't progressive. They a bunch of white supremacists. They just know, they just finesse niggas. Nike just knows how to finesse niggas, unlike some of these other companies. That whole thing with Kaepernick was a ruse. And as a matter of fact, they was laughing at niggas. So how them niggas fell for that Kaepernick shit. We paid $30 million to make over $200 million. It's just like the late great Eazy-E said when he got invited to the White House to that Make-A-Wish dinner. He said that was free publicity, even though it was bad publicity. You digs? I haven't done my annual State of the Union, Black State of the Union. I usually do 1 or 2 of them a year. I think I'm going to do one on the economy because there's some shit coming up. There's another recession coming. Okay? There's another recession coming, people. I don't know if it's coming this year, but it's coming. Okay? It's coming. You can't have a flip-flop like you do with us not bringing in enough tax revenue the way we doing it. You can't do that. And then we got such a high, see, this is why I keep telling brothers and sisters, and a lot of brothers are really paying attention to this. With the wealth, with the amount of money we pay out in welfare and Section 8, they had to rein that shit in, because Obama just let that shit get out of hand. It was too many people on welfare, too many people getting food stamps, too many people getting Section 8. Where's the money coming from? They cut taxes by damn near half. Who's gonna pay for it? That's why I want to listen to AOC with her horse teeth having ass. She up here talking, Ocasio-Cortez, she up here talking about her $93 trillion Green Deal. That ain't no Green Deal. It's a green blob, or it's a green piece of shit. It ain't nothing but goose shit. You ever seen goose shit? She's retarded. Them goddamn horse teeth. That shit, man, let me tell you something. If Ocasio-Cortez go down on you and give you some dome, nigga, she fuck around, and with them teeth, she fuck around and give you a vasectomy. You'll fuck around and be like, hey, I can't have no kids. Okay? Oh, horse tooth heifer. She is stupid as hell. Talk about, oh, she's just idealistic. No, she is stupid. She is an idiot. Because every time she goes on the interview circuit, she's like, yeah, my Green Deal is gonna be great for America. And the first thing they ask her, bitch, how you gonna pay for it? And then she's coming up with all these ridiculous fucking, just making up shit. As you can tell, she's making the shit up as she go along, and they just let her talk. Now she's not as stupid as Sarah Palin, but she's stupid. I give her this. She makes that dumb shit she's talking sound good. Unlike Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin was just a total idiot. Okay? That's why when John McCain picked her as a running mate, I was like, nigga, who pulled your coattail and told you to pick that bitch? You've been better off picking some black woman that work in the cafeteria at your kid's school. She'll have more sense than that bitch. I can see Russia from my front door. Let me tell y'all something. We got another recession coming, people. And this next one gonna be worse than that last one. That's why I be telling black folks, when it comes to this reparations and getting tangibles for the reparations, we got to keep the heat on all these assholes. You see Elizabeth Warren, this Melissa, whatever the fuck her name is, this minister or this author, whatever she is, she up there talking about $100 billion for reparations. Bitch, sit your ass down. That ain't enough. That ain't enough. The blood, sweat, and tears that our ancestors spilled in this country, and the blood that all of us spilled as ADOS blacks, that ain't enough, nigga. You better try a few trillion as a down payment. You got Elizabeth Warren with her fake want to be Pocahontas ass up here talking about, well, if we going to give black people reparations, we got to give everybody reparations. Bullshit. You got AOC, she up here running her mouth talking about Puerto Ricans and Mexicans should get reparations. No, you shouldn't. We don't, let me tell you something. The United States government don't owe Mexico shit. Mexico has the, last I checked, and it's been a couple of years, Mexico was number 20. They had the 20th biggest economy in the world. They don't need no more of our money. See, let me tell you something. Mexico has been eating off the United States plate for too long. They got the nerve to send their people over here for a free life, and yet they don't even take care of their own people. Corruption in Mexico is ridiculous. They don't even have a middle class. It's poor motherfuckers and rich motherfuckers. That's it. There is no middle class. And that's what they're trying to pull over here now. They're trying to get rid of the middle class. So all you guys who are middle class, whether you're blue collar or white collar, you're going to disappear in 10 years. And we really going to be in trouble. Nobody should get shit other than us. Because see, whenever they talk that diversity shit, they're telling us that we need to accept diversity, not them. They're telling us how we should just lay down, part our butt cheeks, and take some more dick. And too many black men are starting to stand up and say, no more. We ain't going for the bullshit no more. You need to have them tangible. You better cut a nigga a check. And it better be substantial. I know you can't break us off all at one time or at one time, but damn it, you better make a good down payment. Now you got Bernie Colonel Sanders up here talking about that's too divisive. Okay, Bernie, you ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win the nomination for presidency anyway. Ain't nobody gonna vote for your old ass. You think they hated Obama's ass? They really hate Jews. Bernie Sanders is a piece of shit, just like the rest of them. Just like Cory Hooker. And Kamala Puff Them L's Harris. All of them are a bunch of phonies, and none of them have our best interests. They're just talking right now. Anybody can talk about reparations. Where's the tangibles? That's what we're concerned about. Where's the check? Where's that land allocation? Where's where's that tuition set aside? That's what see, you have to understand something. Let me explain something to y'all. The reason why I'm so passionate about this reparations thing, let me tell you this, and I'm gonna get back to the subject at hand. The reason, let me explain something to you. I'm a combat veteran. When these white GIs came back from World War II, they gave them, not only did they give them the GI Bill to go to school, they gave them grants to buy houses. Not loans, grants. You know the difference between a grant and a loan, right? The black GIs didn't get shit. grants. They got SBA grants. I told you how they treated me when I went down there to the SBA before the SBA, when they were an actual agency. See, now they're still an agency, but their program is mainly through banks that have that program. But back then, they had an SBA office in every city. And when I went down there, the guys that ran the SBA office were retired white businessmen. All of them were 70 and 80 and 90-year-old white men who were racist as hell. And they were nasty as hell. But yet they were signing all their buddies up, making sure all their buddies got money. You see how that works? This is 400 years of this shit. And you ought to be outraged, as I am, that we've been shut out all this time, and these sons of bitches have had a 400-year head start, and these are the same sons of bitches that had the nerve to point in your face and my face and say, you black people are lazy and you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. How the fuck can you pull yourself up by your bootstraps when you ain't even got no bootstraps or boots? Explain them shits. But see, a lot of y'all are so scared and so afraid to challenge white supremacy that you would rather sit there in that little hole and just die a slow and quiet death instead of standing up for yourself. Like I said, your children and your grandchildren are watching you kowtow and kiss ass. Don't sit up there and tell your kids and your grandkids to go out here, reach for the stars and do better than I did. But then they see you out here kissing ass everywhere they go. You go to the grocery store, you kissing ass. You go to the bank, you kissing ass. You go to the car dealership, you kissing ass instead of the car salesman kissing your ass. Everywhere you go, you ass kissing like they doing you a goddamn favor. See, you know what the biggest hustle of all is convincing black folks that these Caucasian people owe you, that you owe these Caucasian people something, and yet they the ones that been eating off of you for the past 400 years. That's the biggest crime of them all, is the fact that they've convinced 99% of us that these Caucasian people are doing us a favor, because most of you guys don't want to eradicate white supremacy. You just want to find out how you can better live within it. Oh, you'll talk badass at the barbecue. You'll talk badass when you're around other black folks, but when you get around Hunky McGee and them, oh, it's yaza, sir. It's back to buck dancing and soft shoeing. Again, that's why we can't get anything done. The reason why we can't get anything done in America with as it relates to white supremacy is because we got so many Negroes buck dancing and bojangling for a butter biscuit. And some of y'all are hiding in plain sight. But see, I will call your ass out. I'll embarrass you, because I know an ass kisser when I see one. I can't stand ass kissers. There's no reason for you to do that. Hey, everybody, it's $5 donation Tuesday. Hit me on the Cash App. We got the Cash App popping. Hit me on the Cash App, guys. YouTube, where you at? Oh, hell yeah. NAFTA destroyed manufacturing in this country. But NAFTA wasn't just about shutting down manufacturing in America. It was about bringing them drugs over here. Because a lot of those trucks that come from Mexico, most of them don't get checked. Don't believe the hype, dog. When you look at Nat Geo and you see them, you see the Customs and Border Patrol stopping them trucks like they do. That's just because them cameras are there. They only stop 1 in 10 trucks. Think about the other 9 that are getting across without being checked. How else are they getting all that? How else do you think they're getting all that weed and cocaine and meth over here? Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how serious they are. But you know what? They know how black folks are. They know we're inconsistent. We'll talk a lot of shit now, and then just because they mentioned it, we'll turn around and stop keeping the pressure on them. We got to stop doing that. We got to put more pressure on them to show them we mean business, that we ain't fucking around. Don't let the 2020 election slip by us and then we end up not getting anything, just like we did when Hillary's ass ran 2 years ago, or when Obama ran those two years, or those campaign those 2 times. I think a lot of people learn the hard way. A lot of brothers learned the hard way after that Obama fiasco. And then with Hillary, niggas was just like, oh, hell no. I don't even like that bitch. Black women love Hillary, though. If Hillary Clinton pulled her cankles out of her pantyhose, black women will lay down on the ground and lick them cankles. That's how much black women kiss the asses of white mommy. Black women love Hillary. But we have a chance to make history by keeping a foot on the necks of the Democratic Party and forcing them to come correct. Not just talk about reparations, bringing tangibles to the table and giving us a quantifiable number, and we need to be able to quantify and measure what it is they are offering us. If we can't quantify and measure what it is they're offering, we ain't got shit to say to you. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Take your ass on. Hey guys, I'm gonna take a break. Hey, we were looking kind of light today, y'all. What's up with the donations? Looking kind of light. Looking real light. What's up with that? We got enough people in the room to handle business. Let's get it cracking. I'm gonna let that soak in. I'm gonna take a quick break. Keep it locked right here, the Iceman Show podcast. Your host, the Iceman. I'll be right back in 2 and 2. All right, y'all. Y'all hit me on the Cash App, or you go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button, and hit the donate button and do the thing. Do the thingy thing from there. Hey, look, we looking kind of light, guys. What's up? Oh, I agree that Trump's practices benefit us. The longer Trump is in there, the better it is for us. Because let me explain something to you. The feminists are scrambling right now. But again, nothing trumps white supremacy. Nothing. Race is always race first. What did Richard Spencer say? Win at all cost. It's always race first. See, black folks want to walk around and talk about all this moral and ethical shit and let's be religious and all that dumb shit while everybody else is eating off of us. Everybody's kicking our asses. The welfare game has dried up. And these black women, a lot of black women are seeing the writing on the wall. The welfare hustle is over with. Trump shut that shit down. Give him another 4 years. I guarantee all these mammies that are on welfare and on Section 8, they're going to be out here on the street. Or they're going to be trying to, find them a brother to get with, which probably ain't gonna work too well because black women, a lot of the black women out here, you fucked over these black men so long that a lot of brothers ain't even trying to, they especially if you got a kid already and you like 40. Now, if you in your 20s, you got a chance. But if you like 40 and you a single mom, oh hell no. Oh no, you're done. You can stick a fork in your ass. You done. They're gonna be out here working 2 or 3 fast food jobs like they do down. I see the Mexican women and the black women down there in San Antonio. Them women down there in San Antonio, they'll be down there working at Burger King. They be working at Johnny Rockets. They be working at Chick-fil-A, working at Whataburger. They're going to get their ass out there and do something because the welfare game has dried up. I'm going to tell you right now, Trump going to be in there for 4 more years. Hopefully. Because all that money that Obama was providing to all that money that Obama's administration was providing for all them domestic violence programs and all that shit done dried up. So even the feminism game is drying up. You have to understand those of you black folks that are walking around here talking about Obama presidency was an innocent presidency. You ain't got no damn sense because Obama's Blue Lives Matter bill gave you notice under Obama all these police departments start wearing fatigues. Did y'all notice that? They getting personnel carriers and all kind of shit from DOD. Obama made sure that. That was part of that Blue Lives Matter bill. So those of you who are all on Obama's dick, talking about Obama did this right and did that right, what you say about that? Huh? What you got to say about all these police departments getting tanks and shit and all kind of other type of personnel carriers? How do you feel about that? Because that's the shit we used. What are police departments doing getting that type of stuff to use? And then they driving around. Where do they always drive around in that stuff at? In the inner city. They don't drive around the trailer park in that shit. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Well, actually, I can't show you. I'll just talk about it. Let me show y'all something real quick. I can pull it up. I might not be able to pull it up in time. Oh shoot! I knew that was gonna happen. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull it up now. Give me a second, y'all. Come on, man. Damn, man. Damn, I hate this goddamn computer, man. It's brand new. Boy, Netflix, boy, they got so many good documentaries and not documentaries. I watched the Dolezal Divide. Man, man, Rachel Dolezal is that woman, something is wrong with her. Something is wrong with her. Seriously. Something wrong with her, man. She's an idiot. But she was out here finessing, though. She was out here finessing. Oh, she was out here finessing, though. She was suing some of these employers for discrimination, talking about they was discriminating against her as a black person. Can you believe that shit? Bitch, you ain't black. How you going, bitch, how you gonna sue somebody for racial discrimination and you white? Fuck out of here. Dude, let me tell you something. I couldn't help but laugh all the way through that damn documentary. It's so stupid. That woman is ridiculous. Let me pull something up real quick. There was a movie I rented off of Netflix called Operation Finale. And this movie had Ben Kingsley always, he always represents. He plays the role of Adolf Eichmann, who was Hitler's right-hand man. And just to show you how fearless some of these other race groups are, they went and got his ass from Argentina. Okay? Because, see, you got to understand, a lot of them Nazis went down to Brazil, like Gazelle Bündchen. Her grandfather, her people are Nazis. See, a lot of people don't want to see y'all looking at Tom Brady and like, oh, Tom Brady's a nice guy. Yeah, but he got a MAGA hat sitting in his locker. And he likes Trump. And his wife, you know, people get thrown off by her name, but she's actually German. She's a German Brazilian. Don't let somebody start researching her family. Okay? Because I guarantee people are going to start looking at Tom Brady's ass side-eyed. Okay. But they went the Mossad, the intelligence service for the Israeli government. They went down there and got that motherfucker. See, black folks, y'all, we love to just forgive and just let people shit all over us. These other groups don't play that. They like, oh, we gonna go get you and you gonna give us some money. Those Japanese who were put in those internment camps during World War II, they got checks. They still ain't gave you shit. And they're going to do everything they can not to give you anything. That's why when Clinton was in office, you had dumbass, coon-ass black folks talking about, we want an apology for slavery. I don't give a fuck about no apology, motherfucker. I wasn't no slave. I don't want no apology, nigga. I want a goddamn check. Where's them checks? Where's that land allocation? And I don't want to hear that shit about we ain't got the money. You got money to send us over there to two illegal wars at a cost of $1 trillion a piece? Don't give me that shit. But we ain't got the money. Well, then you pull us out of goddamn Syria and Iraq and Afghanistan then. We got money for that shit. We got money for reparations and tangibles. I don't want to hear your excuses. And fuck Bernie Colonel Sanders. We too damn scary. And that's why everybody always kicks our asses. Too many of y'all niggas sitting around talking about, hey, Iceman, you an agitator, you a troublemaker. You making the block hot. Nigga, just kill yourself. Just kill yourself, nigga. Just kill yourself. Because you ain't doing nothing but taking up space. Kill yourself, nigga. Exactly. Asylum is for political people who are threat of who risk the threat of political persecution. You got people coming over here seeking asylum from since Trump been in here talking about they beat my son up. So why don't you take your ass to Mexico? They speak Spanish. See, you got to understand something. These liberal corporate types that juice the pocketbooks of people like Pelosi and Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, they want their Nicaraguan and El Salvadorian nannies. See, I used to work in Hollywood, and when we drive out, when we drive out of Beverly Hills or that whole area, you see all those broke ass Hispanic women standing at the bus stop. All of them, it's like it'd be 20 or 30 of them standing at a bus stop, taking them buses all the way back to Linwood and parts of South Central LA. That's how much them liberals love their ass. Now, some of them did live there. Some of them did live in those houses. Most of them didn't. Especially the ones that were big time assholes. They were like, oh no, Blanca, you gotta take, you ain't staying here. You need to take your ass home. So you got to ride the bus all the way to East LA. Can you imagine doing that? Getting up at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning just to ride to over there to Beverly Hills to take care of some old spoiled white kids? We better get on the good foot this time around, y'all. Hey, look here. We looking kind of short tonight, man. Look here. This coming Saturday, Player Circle podcast. The topic will be the three types of black women to avoid. The 3 types of black women to avoid. That's going to be the topic for this Saturday's Player Circle podcast. We will broadcast at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Be there. Have your face in the motherfucking place. Don't meet me there. Beat me there, nigga.